Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I've been slowly losing my voice for some weird reason because I'm giving up smoking. Don't ask me how that's working out, but that's the thing, apparently. When you stop smoking, you lose your voice. Anyway, I'm also currently been doing an executive producer role on a movie. If anyone's interested in helping from the UK, getting involved in that, there'll be a link in the description below. But I've got a lot to talk about with this Man United and Liverpool game because it's quite educational, and the amount of mistakes that the Liverpool defenders and the team make, and Klopp doesn't either understand or correct. And we're going to sort of go over them and show a couple of sort of team-shaped things as well that Man United do very, very poorly, and Liverpool let them get away with. There's one of those things that we call cheating in football, where you're doing something that isn't natural, isn't normal, and you can get punished really, really easy if the other team spots it. But they don't seem to spot it, and they don't seem to sort of punish United for it. They have a lot of possession for sort of periods of time, Liverpool, but they don't seem to have that ruthless sort of attacking edge. And maybe it's because Liverpool were actually ahead in the game, and recently in a lot of their games they've been behind, and they've been trying to get that goal to win the game in that 99th minute, and they just went, we kind of got the ball, we kind of got possession, and kind of got lackadaisical and got punished for it. So let's try commenting on the first goal, and I'll show you what I see. So immediately when I was watching this game, I knew this goal was about to happen because of these two clowns right here. You've got Quansah and Joe Gomez. And what you've got is Joe Gomez should be over here, and Quansah should be over here. And they've both got caught up in the wrong role. So instead of Joe Gomez, who's behind here, realising, right, he's going over here to cover, I'll cover his space. You can see his space right here. Because here's Van Dijk, the most overrated centre-back in the Premier League, with his left-back, tucked in perfectly, squeezing, doing exactly right, but this massive space is opening up here. Can you see that gap? And watch these two clowns here. They've carried on running together, 4 yards together, and opened up this space here. You can see this. Now, this midfielder should never be asked to come in and track in this position here. Right, he shouldn't be. Joe Gomez has been caught out, and he used to play as a centre-back and should know better. When someone is covering for you, you go and cover for them. He's not. He's in no man's land. He's absolutely lost. He's right up here, hugging this Quansah kiddie, and the ball gets played in behind, and that's where the problem arises, because that means this guy can get a shot off. As soon as that ball can go in behind, he can have a crack at goal, and that's when they get their tap in. And it's because these two guys here, one is covering Quansah for Gomez, and Gomez doesn't cover for Quansah. This is simple. If you're not doing this at under 10s football, they're doing this at under 10s, I'm screaming at you at under 10s. That's how simple this is and how basic the level of understanding of football this really should be. So when this breaks, this little wee kiddie gets all the time in the world to turn. He takes about 3 touches, turns and has a shot at goal. And these two are still in each other's pocket, running back together. After the shot, then it's just a simple case of who can clear up the trash, and he taps it in and clears up the trash. That's all from poor understanding of defensive shape and position and how to cover when you're out of position. As we can see there, that's the whole reason they've been able to score. Now, another couple of other things United were doing is they were playing forward. Let's see if I can find a clip of it because it's not going to be any of the highlights. They were actually trying to stop Liverpool playing out, and they were doing a very good job of it for the first sort of 20 minutes or so. Liverpool figured it out in the second half, but really didn't punish them with enough goals. But let's see if I can find a little clip or something. There you go. This is what I really want to show you here as Liverpool are trying to play this out of the back. So what United have done effectively is they're playing the kind of 2 up front, and then this line of 4. And this little wee kiddie here is quick, so he can actually shut down the left back when he's getting the ball. And they're really doing a good job of stopping Liverpool, because how they'll play it out the back is they'll go out wide, all right, and then they'll look to try to connect with one of their little centre midfielders here, or go down the line. They're stopping all of that happening by keeping pressure on the right back and left back, making them go back and recycle. Now, the quick, easy pass would be straight through the middle of the field, but they're not designed and geared up to play that. And the other aspect they would need is one of these other 2 high midfielders to come back in here and receive the ball. And they don't do it. They just keep trying to recycle it along here, and United keep showing them hassle. It's just very, very strange why these other Liverpool players don't just come into this empty space here, receive the ball, maybe they get it from an extra pass, one into the defensive midfielder, it's not in this case, it's McAllister, and then out and away they go, and break and just run straight at Man United's back 4. but they seem to do this quite often, playing this high 6. Now, when Liverpool did try to go long and knock it forward to Nunez, he's not good enough to hold it up against Varane. I can't remember who the other centre-back was. I think it might have been Johnny Evans, I can't remember. And they were just winning the air battle. So they couldn't really do that. They couldn't knock that ball forward and build off them going, up front. They needed to use these pockets of space behind this second line. And if United do this against some of the weaker teams, they'll actually do quite well, because this is pretty difficult if they try to pass the ball out of the back. But a lot of the weaker teams will have a centre forward that is used to holding up the ball. Liverpool's not so much. The second part of the play that United did well, which I'm going to show you here, is how far, when they got back in a big group. Now, a lot of the time, which is the goal we're going to show you right now, some of their players were lazy and didn't work very hard, but they got numbers back behind the ball. There was no one really. Look how far the halfway line is. Look at where the centre circle is. And that's their striker. Look how deep they are. They're just back defending for their lives. They did that a lot of the game, but it was very successful for them. Let's go on to the goal, and to the first Liverpool goal, and I'll show you why Rashford and Ratface are terrible. Okay, this all starts right about here, where Rashford and Ratface are the points of pressure. And this guy, next clip I'm going to show you, he's going to be here. And these two clowns are going to be in the exact same position. They're going to let Liverpool player get all the way through and, well, basically do nothing. Now, also, this is another problem. Look at that line of 4 there. So, shape is so important, and so is formation. And when you've got players that are so just all over the place like this, what you end up doing is you end up reacting to something, not being proactive. So you're not anticipating anything. You're only reacting to mistakes that are going on, and you don't have time to anticipate and win the ball, because you're just reacting because everyone's all over the place and you're covering. So let's show you that in a second. Oh, a little bit wrong. Rashford did come back, didn't really do nothing, but he is back here. Ratface is still being Ratface. So now we're in this situation, and you saw that line of 4 that was there. Now it's kind of here. Look, you can see these two players are both in each other's way. They've both tracked from here to here, which is moronic. One of them should have stayed and covered the gap. Why is that important, Cash? Well, because I'm about to show you. Because if one of them, and they had team cohesiveness and shape, would have been here. So when this ball comes in, let's watch, Pomf. As it comes in here, guess what? There would have been a player right here in the correct shape. Would have been right here. Would he have won the ball? Nah, I don't know. Would he be able to challenge for it? 100%. Would it allow this guy an easy receive of the ball and lay it off? No, because there would have been a player here, but he's not. He's on Johnny Walkabout, not knowing what he's doing, and he's tracking this guy here who's on his own team. Absolutely pathetic. So when the ball comes into this gap, Bosch, it's a first-time pass. Look, now he's reacting. Do you see how they're all reacting to try to close him down? And instead of being there, waiting to be proactive and make the challenge, now the ball comes back in, and this guy just takes a first-time shot, smashes it into the net box. Yeah, I think it takes a bit of a deflection, but they get themselves a goal. Bosh. There we go. Okay, so there's so many mistakes on this goal from United, and the main mistake is from the goalkeeper right here. He knows that one bazooka cannot play football. He cannot pass a ball. He cannot do much in the game of football. He just can't. What he can do, he's got a lot of pace, and he can run you down, and he can try to slide tackle you. That's about it. He can't pass more than 10 yards, and he's not going to be able to pass the ball out of the back. So the fact, the goalkeeper, look how many Liverpool players are there near him. We know that he can't play football, and we give him the ball there with 3 players bearing down on him, and you can come out here to a guy that's got space. The goalkeeper has set you up rightly to fail, right? There's no United player close for him to pass to. He can't pass there because he's in the way. He can't pass there because he's in the way. He hasn't got the ability to go over him and put it there. He might be able to smash it into the space here, but he probably still can't do that because, quite frankly, he is not good enough, and the goalkeeper knows it. Absolutely knows it, and he's hung him out here to dry. So then what he does is he tries to get a foul or try to get out of it. So look at the poor lad. Now he's cornered. The goalkeeper's going, no, smash it down the field, mate. I don't want it. But he knows better just to smash it down the field, because if he does, they can just counter-attack and score because he can't see what's going on. So now he's in all sorts of trouble, the poor lad, because this goalkeeper has played him into that trouble. Now, this is why Ratface would never be in my team playing football. Right, he's here, and what's he got? He's come back to help out his mate. He's bailed him out. The first thing he should do is move the ball quickly, ping it into here, and there's a bunch of reasons why. Well, the first reason is because it's good football. The second reason is because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Liverpool players. And if we can ping that ball and I can get it back on the run, because I'm just going to spin and run down this line, I'll give it to you and you give it straight back to me. We've taken 6 of their players out and we can just run straight in. But what he tries to do instead is he tries to take a dive, right? And they all know, the ref knows, Buff, he had no intention of trying to play the ball. The rat face, he's gone down so easily, and then Liverpool just go on and bang it into the net. Because he goes down easily just because he's trying to buy a free kick. And that's all he's thinking of doing. He's trying to cheat instead of play football. If he just played football, he would have been brilliant there. Absolutely brilliant. Played it in, gone down the line, got the ball back, would have been great. One of the next worrying things here for me is when this ball gets bounces around, it's not really important, gets dropped to Nunez, he smashes it in the net box, bounces off, Dosh, Salah's here waiting and kicks it into the goal. More worrying though, you've got Rafa Varane stood there on the line because he doesn't trust his goalkeeper. He's not out trying to pressure the ball from Mo Salah. He's there trying to drop and save it on the line. That's a player with no confidence in his goalkeeper. I apologise again for my voice, but you have no idea how painful this is. But I wanted to get this video out yesterday. I just couldn't do it. Just hurts too much. Now, I want to also show you on this next goal how bad Liverpool are defending here. Look at this. Got one guy winning the ball, right? Another guy watching him, right? Another guy there watching him. Watch him, and another guy watching him, watch him, and watch him. He's completely unmarked and behind this clown right here. And this is why they score the goal. And you go, oh, catch it. These are the little differences that win you and lose you games. That's why it's so important to hold your shape and hold your formation. It is that important. So when this goes forward, watch Dosh. This guy that comes in for no reason and tackles from over here, Gakpo, bounces the ball and knocks it the wrong way. So I'm going to explain this to you again. I'm going to explain this to you because the Liverpool players don't understand this. If you are facing this way and the ball hits you, that's the way the ball goes. Harvey Elliott later on is going to concede the losing goal because he doesn't understand this either. This guy can win the ball because he's behind the ball and he's going this way attacking. If you make any mistake and you put the ball this way, Gakpo causes this goal to happen because he's got no business in being involved in here. He should be up here, so if the ball's received, you can play it into his feet and they can counter-attack. He doesn't need to be here. Yet he's the one, because he's facing the wrong way, touches the ball and bounces off to this little wee man here, and then they're off to the races. Complete lack of understanding of football, lack of understanding his positional awareness, lack of understanding of which way he's facing, lack of understanding of so many things. Get away, let your midfielder win the ball. There's three of them there having a chit-chat. What are you doing? That is terrible. Now, of course, the ball immediately goes out wide, and this little wee man gets a run on here. But you can see they're all queuing up there on the back post. There's no sort of real threat in here. And there's enough numbers, enough bodies here for Liverpool to deal with the situation. But again, you've got three Liverpool players completely beaten because this kid slips. He slips over and pokes the ball through to this guy. That's why. And there's too many Liverpool players trying to win the ball again. So all of a sudden, the ball drops to this little wee man's feet. He has a little bit of space bonk, drops it to his feet. Three Liverpool players are taken out, and he just turns and smashes it into the net box. Not a bad little turn, not a bad little finish, but 1-2. Liverpool caused that problem completely themselves, and their players are getting in their own way, trying too hard, and United just punish them for it. Overall, terrible. Okay, so as we're taking this throw in here for Liverpool, let's look at the United team. And you can see that they're pretty much all in that space there. Again, you got 1, 2 that's not there. And this is what I'm talking about, them cheating and how they're going to get punished because they're cheating. They're not really holding their shape in their system, but there's enough pressure on the ball to make sure that you can't do your job and they can try to counter-attack you if you make a mistake. And why this is very important is because this little wee man here who ends up scoring the goal, with all these players here, is unmarked. And there's a big pocket of space here. And he's, not really, we won't talk about him. Because quite frankly, he's playing as a centre midfielder and he's a right winger. So, yeah, it doesn't. So before he's taking the shot, let's look at these United players. Look at that shape there. That is terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, brilliant writing, Cash. Well done. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me guess, Marcus Rashford's over there somewhere. Oh no, yeah, that's right. But you can see what I'm talking about with the pocket of space here that's opened up because United have been cheating and they've got caught out. And this is where they were doing a lot of the game. And they could probably get away with it if they play this rubbish football against some of the weaker teams and batter them. They were doing this a little bit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when their system was all over the place, but they had just better players and were punishing them for it. And then, of course, this little comes in, has a shot, takes a little bit of a deflection and goes into the net box. gets himself a goal. But that's all because United are so pushed over onto that one side, making mistakes and opening up space for Liverpool. Liverpool aren't scoring that goal. United are giving it to them, just like Liverpool are giving them a couple of goals. This goes back to what I was saying earlier with how high United were having bodies, having extra people up front. We've got 2 there, we've got 3, and we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all along that line there, doing a good job, right? They're all pushing forward, trying to make sure that it's a hard pass to pass in from behind. And then you've got this striker here, Darwin Núñez, who basically gives them the goal. Ruins the game for Liverpool. I think Liverpool up at this point. Can't remember. Just because he's not sure what to do. He's getting told to pass it back here. He shouldn't be in this situation. He should know better to dump it and go for a run, but he doesn't. He tries to come inside. Now, the moment he comes inside, I know United are scoring a goal. Because if you've coached as much football as I have, you've had a team that's made a moronic decision, and I'll tell you mine. Someone took a throw in, exact same position. I was doing something else. I turned around, I could see the throw in happen, and they threw the ball in exactly the situation, and there was 2 players covering that player, and they ran on and smashed it into the goal. And you just as soon as that happened, you go, yeah, I've seen this before. If you look though how Liverpool are caught, their midfield are too far forward again, and they're caught in this situation. You can see what's going to happen. He's playing a little first-time ball in. It's a quality finish. And is Kepa... Yeah, Alisson... No, is Alisson saving that? Yeah, probably. He just is. There's a difference. That's a reason why Alisson's probably the best goalkeeper in the world on current form, till he was obviously injured. And he's definitely in the top 2. There's not many better. Like him and Ederson are right there fighting. There's no one in the world better than those 2. But Keller, as good as he is, he should be getting something on that. And it just goes past him. Bosch, it's all too quick, too fast. And there we go. Let's get on to the last goal. This is Harvey Elliott's fault, this goal, completely and utterly. Watch this. This guy is in control of the ball, right? So, yep, there's multiple different facets that have to go through your brain when you're computing what's going on. It's coming onto his right foot. He can take it, move the ball over here. If he comes onto his left foot, he's taking it into a crowd. Not only that, if you let him take it onto his right foot, Elliott drops. We have 2 midfielders in midfield here. We've got stable and stability. Get out the way. Let the man that is closest to the ball, which is this guy here, deal with it. Harvey Elliott doesn't, because he's, a muppet for some reason. He's coming in here thinking he's going to be something else, and his own player's already receiving the ball. And then guess what happens? Harvey Elliott's body shape is facing the wrong way. Remember, the way your body is facing is the way you're going to end up playing the ball. This guy would have ended up playing the ball away, over here into the space to maintain possession. Harvey Elliott's going to take it straight to this guy here who's waiting for it. He knows that, but for some reason he wants possession of the ball, takes the touch, and it's terrible. Then what happens? He gets done. Dush. Just stay away and let your teammate do it. That's a player there who's too arrogant and cocky for his own good, doesn't trust his teammate, just let him win the ball and give it to you, and he doesn't. And he's just cost his team a cup final for it. It's not a cup final, was it a quarter final for it? That is poor play. Then these 2 wee lads just run down the field and smash it into the net box. 2v1, not much this little wee lad can do. Not sure his name. He's that new right back, is he, taking over from Trent in a minute. But he's holding them up as good as he can be. But ultimately, he can only, defend one of them. Goes over the other side here. Now, also, I'm going to tell you about the weakness of the Man United team because of what this little kiddie here does. And this is the difference. Why this kid is just, oh God, if I was his coach, I might kick him off the team for this one incident. Right? So he's coming in here to the goalkeeper. And again, it's no Alisson, it's Kepa. He's good, but he's not great. And gets himself, as you can see, he finds the corner nicely. Maybe the keeper should have done a little bit better in that situation. And you're kind of hoping he does in the last minute just before penalties. But maybe you're hoping your idiot up front over there, this little Harvey guy, doesn't do that moronic thing and take the ball off his teammate's foot. But he chooses to anyway. Yeah, so this is the other thing I want you to talk about. The guy that scores a goal, he's on a yellow card. So the only thing he has to do is stay on the field. But in his arrogance, he takes his shirt off and gets himself sent off. That is complete and utter lack of discipline. That shows in the squad that he doesn't really care about getting sent off or think that he's going to play in the next game. You can't have that. Oh my God. Think about how poor of a manager you have to be to let your team take a yellow card for taking their shirt off. I don't care that he's just won that. I don't care if he's just won the Champions League. Do not care. You don't do something that moronic. That comes down to discipline. And you're going to argue with me all you want and say, yeah, but emotions, me. No, you're a professional footballer. I'm paying you stupid money. You're one of the most privileged people in the entire world. You damn well do what you're supposed to do. You do not take your shirt off and get sent off, and I don't care where it is, when it is. You act professionally, and that isn't professional. Now, here's the other part. You're at Man United. You're the biggest football club in the world. Well, next to Real Madrid and Barcelona in the world. And you need to act according so. You don't act like that. Because if you know that there's no consequences from your manager when you're going to do that, you do it. If you think your manager's going to rip your head off and maybe kick you out of the team and maybe the club, you don't do that. And that's what I'm talking about, the lack of professionalism in the Man United squad. And it goes on. And if you think that you'd get away with that on my team, you've got another thing coming. And that's what the lack of professionalism is. And if you think you're going to do that in your team is unprofessional, and so are you. You don't understand the high level that is required to be a great player. And neither does that kiddie. And if you're still here, I love you. I'm sorry about my voice. It's doing my head in. But there's a link in the description below. If you're interested in the UK and getting involved in my movie in any way, every pound counts. You're chucking in. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.